Good afternoon, friends. The non-stoichiometry in the oostides. Okay, this is the next point in this second topic. Okay, the non-stoichiometry in the oostide, that is about the ferrous oxide, is known as oostide. Oostide means that is the FeO. Okay, the ferrous oxide, it is also known as oostide, and it has the sodium chloride crystal structure. Okay, this ferrous oxide, it has the sodium chloride structure, and it is known as rock salt. Okay, the ferrous oxide phase diagram. Okay, this is the ferrous oxide phase diagram. Okay, look at this is the ferrous oxide phase diagram. Okay, and this phase diagram, that shows this phase diagram. Okay, and phase diagram, it is illustrated the range of oostide increases with the temperature, and the stoichiometry of FeO is not included in the range of stability. Okay, in this ferrous oxide phase diagram, therefore it will illustrate. Okay, it illustrate that the range of oostide means that is a ferrous oxide, the ferrous oxide range is increases with the temperature. Okay, your temperature is smallly is increases, therefore your oostide, that is the ferrous oxide range also increases. And the stoichiometry of the ferrous oxide means ferrous oxide stoichiometry, it is not included in the range of stability. Means the stoichiometry, the ferrous oxide, you have to know about the ferrous oxide, it is a oostide, and that the stoichiometry of the ferrous oxide, it is not included in the range of stability. Means in the range of stability, therefore the stoichiometry of FeO is not included, and therefore you have to below the 570 degrees Celsius, the oostide disproportionate to alpha ion and the Fe3O4. Okay, you have to below the temperature of the 570 degrees Celsius, and its oostide disproportionate to the alpha ion and the Fe3O4. Okay, and the easiest method of the measuring the density of the crystal is the flotation method. Okay, in this non-stoichiometry of the oostide. Okay, therefore its easiest method for measuring the density of the crystal, means you have to measure the density of the crystal, therefore the easiest method we have to measure them is that the flotation method. Okay, the flotation method, it is the easiest method for measuring the density of the crystal. Therefore the liquid of differing the density which dissolve in each other, means in your flotation method, therefore the liquid of differing the density, means your density is differing by this liquid, and which is dissolved in each other, means this density which are dissolved in each other. Okay, this is the phase diagram. Okay, this phase diagram of the ferrous oxide system 1, 2 and 3 together, and it is a comprised in the oostide region. Okay, therefore the next point is the titanium theoretical density. Okay, theoretical density of the crystal in this oostide, that is a FeO, it can be obtained from the volume of the unit cell and the mass of the unit cell are contained. Okay, you have to determine the theoretical density of the crystal, it can be obtained, means the theoretical density of the crystal, it can be obtained from volume of the unit cell and mass of the unit cell contained. Means your volume of the unit cell and mass of the unit cell contained, and it is formation of theoretical density of the crystal. Okay, and the unit cell, it is a dimension are accurately measured, and the type and the number of formula units in the unit cell are also determined. Okay, the unit cell dimensions are accurately measured. Okay, in the non stoichiometry of the oostide, therefore the unit cell dimensions are accurately measured, means unit cells dimension are accurately measured, and the type and the number of formula, the types and number of formula that the units in unit cell, that the units in unit cell, and it is also determined, that unit cell it is also determined. Therefore the particular crystal of FeO is found to have a unit cell dimension. Means therefore the different types of the particular crystal of Fe, ferrous oxide, was found to have a unit cell. Means this ferrous oxide crystal, it is found to have a unit cell dimension, that is about 430.1 pm. It is a pm is a units and a major density is a 5.7 to 8 kilogram meter cube, and iron to oxygen ratio is 0.945, and the unit cell volume, that is which is a cube, is thus 430.1 pm cube into 7.956 into 107 into bracket pm. Okay, this is all about the valuation of the crystal of FeO to have the unit cell dimension. Okay, therefore next is, there are four formula units of FeO perfect unit cell with the rock salt structure. Okay, and therefore the four formula units of the FeO in the perfect unit cell with the rock salt structure. Therefore last point is the Vegar's law. Okay, this Vegar's law, it is asked in your exam. Okay, therefore it is found to characteristics of the most non-stoichiometric compound that their unit cell size varies smoothly with the composition but the symmetry is unchanged, known as Vegar's law. Okay, Vegar's law means what? The characteristics of the most non-stoichiometric compound. Characteristics of most non-stoichiometric compound means your non-stoichiometric compounds, the characteristics and their unit cells is very smoothly with the composition but the symmetry is unchanged. Means this non-stoichiometric compound, it is that their unit cell size, and that unit cell size it is varies smoothly with the composition but the symmetry is unchanged. Therefore you have to vary the non-stoichiometric compound, therefore the symmetry is unchanged, and it is known as Vegar's law. It is known as Vegar's law. Okay, this is all about the non-stoichiometric compound, and therefore last point of the chapter, that is about the titanium monoxide structure, you have to discuss in next lecture. Thank you.